Right. And in terms of how the government is protecting the electorate against all of this, because our fake news conversation tonight, Mark, is concentrating on the fact that we're headed towards an electioneering period. So in terms of the government's need to protect citizens' right to freedom of expression, and then the thin line that lies therein of people disseminating fake information out there, election night or election date, the spread of false results, the spread of false narratives around which candidate has won there. How has the government, or how does the government, in your opinion, or from what you've heard, plan to control this on that particular date?
I haven't heard anything directly from anyone in the government, but we have seen on the public record multiple cabinet secretaries talk about the internet staying on, talk about the right to having the internet stay on. And the truth is, we've noticed in other, and this is public information, we've seen in other countries that their economies take a massive hit for even hours of the internet being off. You take Kenya's what we call Silicon Savannah. The fact that the internet would be shut down here, hopefully, is a red line that should not be crossed. Okay. Now, you have said that there's a duty to both protecting and upholding the constitutional rights of citizens, and at the same time creating an environment where harms are mitigated or addressed. I would say part of that responsibility is on the platform. So Meta, Twitter, TikTok, they have to provide assurances to an extent that they are equipped in the case of, let's say, bad actors who try to abuse their platforms and their algorithms to spreading this. And that's really who shares the greater degree of control, because what we don't want is to see the entire internet shut down on the basis of bad actors. When for many people, every day, even this interview, right? They might see this interview online or in online platforms. So we have to give them that balance of the freedom and responsibility.
And some platforms are seen as harmless, Mark, such as TikTok, for instance. And this is TikTok's first real test, because previous elections, we've seen Facebook and Twitter take center stage. Instagram, not as aggressive as some of these other platforms in this particular period. But in terms of TikTok and the fact that it's been seen as largely harmless, let's look at this particular platform and the dangers that lie therein, in the sense that there's a lot that's been going around on this platform that is politically designed, that is politically, that has political communication and political innuendos in it. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, the thing I like about TikTok is that it's the only social network. I mean, you have a massive following, but you could have an everyday person watching now who's never really been on social media or been there, never had an audience. They do one video from the comfort of their home, nothing special, no cameras, no lights, but they go viral. Why? Because in my view, TikTok has what I'd call the most egalitarian algorithm. I see people in the rural areas, I see people of all faiths, backgrounds, socioeconomic classes. However, that same algorithm that can take an ordinary person with one video and shoot them up to the top of the charts can also be misused to the extent that now you have people with a political agenda who are trying to target people with certain interests. And that's the tension they have to battle with, is that there are bad actors who will say, look, this amount of video, this amount of time being spent, the fastest growing social network in Kenya. However, some of the research that I've seen from our clients and also from other research firms shows that in the bigger scheme of things nationally, TikTok is smaller than what I'd call the meta platforms to how frequently we use and see even misinformation there. But it is an X factor. It's a wild card. And we'll have to wait to see and hope that they're prepared.
Right. And as we close, Mark, in terms of, the constituents on these social media platforms, different social media platforms, because Twitter attracts a different audience, Facebook, TikTok, and so on. But in terms of how to sieve the good from the bad as an online consumer, what is the best way forward, even as we disseminate information during this period? What is the best way forward as regards forwarding or sharing correct information out there? What should people bear in mind as we go towards the August polls?
I think they need to bear in mind that there's essentially multiple aspects to this contest. There is the contest for opinion, there's the contest for perception, there's the contest to what they call energize the base, there's a contest to antagonize the other side. However, from what we can tell so far, this is the election with one of the highest number of undecided voters, especially going back over the last 20 years. What that might mean, depending on how you interpret the data, is there's a swayable audience who are being essentially they're being sought to be won over. So for me, it's 3 words. It's stop, reflect, verify. And we have a false news and misinformation quiz at stopreflectverify.com. The simple idea is you test your knowledge. You think, for me, we're here on set. I mean, we might not get every question right in that quiz. And that's supposed to humble us. Before we share, it's very easy. People are very sharp and can take advantage of our emotions and play into our fears and even sometimes our hopes. So for me, it's simple. Before you share, especially if you feel something when you interact with content, challenge the person to either provide a source or ultimately just pause before sending it to everybody else. And some of the features now don't even allow us to share it or spread it like we would have before.
Right. Many thanks for that, Mark Kaigwa. He is the CEO of Nendo. Please keep the conversation going on Twitter, on Facebook. We'd like to hear your thoughts. The hashtag is Friday Night at Citizen TV Kenya, or you could SMS us on 22422. Thanks for watching.